Comedy legend Louis Black is bringing Goodbye Yeller Brick Road, the final tour, to Steelhouse on Sunday, February 25th. Tickets go on sale Friday, November 17th at 10 a.m. Get yours at steelhouseomaha.com.
The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Choose from a great selection of digital coupons and use them up to 5 times in one transaction. Check our app for details. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedy writer and photographer Matt Oswalt talks about working on the NBC lot in Burbank, California.
I saw a door open and Miss Deidre Hall step into the hallway and walk towards us. I stood there, soaking up the joy on this woman's face as she watched, mouth open, as her idol approached. Deidre stopped cold as she heard her name. For maybe a second, she glared at all of us. A cold death stare. And without a gesture, she made an about face and double-timed it back to the studio, the door slamming behind her.
Today on the show, comedy writer and photographer Matt Oswalt talks about working at NBC. Stay close.
Hi, this is Matt Oswalt, and you're listening to Storyworthy, while Christine Blackburn is giving me a hand job under the table.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. Now, I hope you guys listened to the show last week with comedian Fortune Feimster. She's a wonderful person and a tremendous comedian, probably the busiest working woman in show business right now. And she has a story about her favorite pillow and how a girl that she dated tried to take that pillow. It's quite dramatic. Go back, you guys. Listen to Fortune Feimster on Storyworthy. But not today. Today, stay with me because I have a really funny guy on the show today. His name is Matt Oswalt. He is a comedy writer and a fantastic photographer. Today, his story, he called it Days of Our Lives. He's talking about being a page on the NBC lot in Burbank years ago and a tour. He's giving tours of the studio. And wait till you hear what happened with one of the people in his tour group and this famous actress. It's a great story. So again, you guys, you're going to love the story today. But I wanted to remind you that I'm bringing you stories from the past 12 years. I call the show Still Storyworthy, and that's because I'm spending a lot of time over on my other podcast, My Life in 3 Songs. My Life in 3 Songs is on Spotify exclusively because we listen to the music. And basically, I talk to comedians about the 3 songs in their life that have impacted them. Not necessarily their favorite songs, but songs that paint a picture of the comedian and where they're from. So please check out mylifein3songs.com, and you can follow the show on social media at My Life in 3 Songs. But again, right now, let's go back and listen to a really great story from the very talented photographer Matt Oswalt. MattOswaltPhoto.com. That's where you can find his amazing photos. He has a great book out called Liquor Stores and Detours. Check it out. It is absolutely jam-packed with beautiful photos and really funny essays. All right, you guys, put your hands together for the very talented Matt Oswalt.
My first job when I moved to Los Angeles was an NBC page. I walked around the Burbank lot in suffocating polyester slacks and coat, leading groups of drooling bumpkins on tours of the costume department, empty studios where they might see a janitor rubbing himself in his private region. Yep, that happened. Or even get a chance to take a snapshot of Jay Leno's parking spot. You showed out $8, so snap away, Hawks. So one summer day, I meet a small group of hayseeds too cheap to go to Legoland. I ask where they're from. Arkansas! Of course you are. Let's go. I casually mention the studios we'll be passing by. Leno, the old Carson studio, later with Greg Kinnear. Yeah, that long ago. And, of course, Days of Our Lives. And on that, I heard a down-to-earth, goodness-to-gracious squeal of delight come from a pasty heifer clutching a Days of Our Lives mug like it was a Bible with a bow around it made of Twizzlers. Quick backstory. As a page, I also worked the NBC gift shop. Seinfeld merch, Friends merch, Leno merch. Hell yeah, we sold the shit out of it. Days of Our Lives merch, not so much. I remember a stack of DOOL mugs behind the counter we dusted once a week from such little movement. For all I know, they're still there next to some moth-eaten Whitney shirts. But this woman was a Days of Our Lives fan and damn happy to be there. I asked her to name some characters and she rattled them off. In that moment, as she stood there vibrating with glee next to her dumpy husband and 2 dumpy kids, I saw her entire life. A trailer strewn with toys and dirty laundry, her flaccid husband on an IKEA sofa watching wrestling, Saturday trips to Walmart, long waits at the checkout line searching for coupons, and idle fantasies about drowning her kids in a bathtub before braining her husband with a frying pan. And during all of this, to spend one solitary hour a day transported to the fictional soap opera town of Salem, having toured affairs with handsome-faced and long-dicked men, cocktail parties with the society women whose lives encompass all the drama and passion she so desperately yearns for. And the best part was, I could actually help her out. Very few times in my life have I had the power to make someone's dreams come true, but on this occasion, I could be her champion. The tour began between the Days of Our Lives studio and the cast parking lot, so there was a very, very good chance we'd see a star. And even better news, the cast were the nicest people ever. They would always stop, say hello, sign autographs, pose for pictures. Every Friday they'd have a big ice cream bar and invite us pages over for free scoops. They were total sweethearts, except one, Deidre Hall, the patriarch. She was the face of the show, at least when I was there, and she was not a nice woman. She would always walk, sunglasses on, head down, never look at you, even if you said hello. I don't know if she was mean or shy or just a dedicated actor always in character, but she creeped all of us out, and we knew to keep a wide berth. Even on the odd times we caught Leno walking by, he'd stop for at least a second, but Deidre was not a people person. That said, I rarely saw her, so I wasn't too worried. I was banking on one of the young hunks to walk by, be the thrill of this woman's life. I led our tour past the Days of Our Lives studio. I lingered longer than I usually do, hoping for some action. I watched the woman reach out and touch the massive soundstage door. She did it slowly, as if trying to convince herself this was real. She was in Salem. This exists. I'm alive. Then it happened. Down the long, narrow corridor that led to the dressing rooms, I saw a door open and Miss Deidre Hall, Electra woman herself, step into the hallway and walk towards us. I stood there, soaking up the joy on this woman's face as she watched, mouth open, as her idol approached. Reputation or not, I had never bumped into Deidre when I was with a tour. Surely she didn't treat the commoners as badly as his lowly pages. Here was a bona fide fan holding a Days of Our Lives mug, for Christ's sake. Of course she'll stop. About 20 feet away, the woman cried out, "Oh, Marlena!" Side note, Deidre Hall played Dr. Marlena Evans on the show. Yeah, I didn't know either. Deidre stopped cold as she heard her name. For maybe a second, she glared at all of us. A cold death stare. Her giant sunglasses making it all the more sinister. And without a gesture, she made an about face and double-timed it back to the studio, the door slamming behind her. It was over. The woman was frozen in her tracks. She looked from me, then back down the hallway like a puppy who's been dropped off at a kennel by an owner grown tired of it. It took me all of a half second to realize what just happened. But for the woman, maybe a full 10 seconds for her GED level brain to work it out. And when it did, her face sank. It was immediate and absolute, and it was the saddest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. I wanted to walk down the hallway, grab Deidre in the headlock, and make her apologize. But I didn't. After a long pause, all I could think to say was, "So, anyone want to see where they filmed CPO Sharky?" For the next 45 minutes, I stumbled through the history of costumes, sets, the Johnny Carson studio, but I could not take my eyes off this poor creature who followed silently, ever so often glancing back, as if waiting for Deidre Hall to come running up and take her by the hand into Salem, where adventure and men with pulses lived. And the look on her face of total confusion never went away. For 45 minutes, What had I done, Dr. Evans? Did I say something wrong, Dr. Evans? Did I insult you, Dr. Evans? Why, Dr. Evans? A million questions and nobody to answer them. Not surprisingly, her husband and 2 kids seemed oblivious. They lumbered along happily, smelling of tacos. The tour came to an end, and I bid them farewell. Her husband asked which way to the Bob's Big Boy, and I showed him. I watched her walk to the rental car, her mug lazily dangling from her chubby fingers. Her kids could have walked in front of a bus, and she wouldn't have given 2 shits. She took her first steps into a larger world that day, but unlike Luke Skywalker, there was no happy ending in Endor. It's been over 15 years since this happened, yet not a month goes by I don't recall the woman's expression when Deidre shunned her. You know, everyone has a moment that vividly stays with them. I wish I had a tale like Mr. Bernstein from Citizen Kane, always thinking of the woman he saw for only a brief moment on a ferry. But I suppose with my morbid persona, it makes sense this memory is the one I replay the most. I like to think this woman returned to Arkansas, tossed the TV, cleaned up her life, maybe took some college courses and bettered herself. But I fear she's still in that forsaken trailer, lying awake at night under a blanket, just her and 1,000 Oreo crumbs, replaying the encounter with Deidre Hall over and over. I suspect the Days of Our Life mug sits in the back of a cupboard, unused, the price tag still on it. By the way, they don't give NBC studio tours in Burbank anymore. I'm glad. They cause nothing but pain.
All right, you guys, thanks again so much for listening to Storyworthy today. Don't forget to check out StoryworthyPodcast.com and also follow the show everywhere at Storyworthy. One more time on behalf of the very talented Matt Oswalt, my name is Christine Blackburn saying, make it a Storyworthy week.
Follow me, I'll take you down to the river. Follow me, I'll keep you silent.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy Podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at StoryworthyPodcast.com.
I'll keep you satisfied.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at US Cellular, so you can connect with all your family members this holiday season. You could even call your aunt, who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, you know, maybe just send her a festive text. Get the gift of connection at US Cellular. Get any phone free today. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We value human connection with fewer distractions. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Visit your U.S. Cellular authorized agent, Cellular Advantage, located at 918 South Locust Street in Glenwood.
The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Choose from a great selection of digital coupons and use them up to 5 times in one transaction. Check our app for details. Baker's, fresh for everyone.